Today on the channel, the Common Man goes Ultimate with the Ultimate Edition Dusty Rhodes Target exclusive.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Target exclusive Legends Ultimate Edition unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got the Common Man himself. We got Dusty Rhodes, but for all your Dusty Rhodes Ultimate needs, right now Target, but for everything else under the sun, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there. And finally, the Dusty Rhodes Common Man Edition comes to us in the Ultimate Edition line from Mattel. We first saw this, I want to say, at San Diego Comic-Con 2024, and now the time is here as of January 12th. The street date has been lifted, and we can pick up these figures as well as the new Legend series and other releases as well. So an expensive time for figure collectors like myself with all these new releases here. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And a little bit of meat on the bone for this Dusty as well. We got a couple of new head sculpts here. You can reenact his feud with the Big Boss Man. I would say out of all of Dusty's feuds back in the WWF days, I think that Big Boss Man one is a sleeper. A lot of people forget about that one. And it's pretty cool we get the nightstick and hat to reenact those moments here on our own shelf or display, whatever it may be. But let's dive into it with old Dusty Rhodes. Would love to see another Ultimate Dusty Rhodes from his time in the NWA. If we don't get that, I would just like to get a Dusty Rhodes in the big old like mink coat. I'd also love a bunkhouse match Dusty Rhodes in the jeans and the boots and the shirt. I would love to see something like that. And I'd also love to see like the one they did at the very tail end of Jakks, where it was more of a late day, last match era Dusty Rhodes, old man Dusty. How about that? I'd like to see that as well. And we just recently got the NWO Dusty, so a lot of Dustys coming up. I'm here for all of them though. Here for all of them. But there it is. Typical Ultimate Edition style box going on here. Big window box looking good. Ultimate Edition right there. Love the head sculpts on here. One of those ones, I might have to pick two of these up. Maybe play a little long game. We'll see what happens. Dusty on the side. Oh, that $1 million smile and the polka dots, of course. Dusty Rhodes right there. And on the back, got Dusty in the glamour shot of the figure, glamour shot of the man. There he is, his beautiful polka dots. I remember when I first started dating my wife way back when, she had like a polka dot shirt that looked just like that Dusty one. And I said, whoa, are you trying to be my sweet sapphire? And she had no idea what I was talking about. No idea. Since then, she knows. She knows. But looking good there. You got the tail of the tape. You got the blurb. Let's see what it says about the old Common Man himself, if you will. If you will. Let's do it. Height 6'2" from Austin, Texas. Beautiful this time of year. Too many people in Austin these days, though. Back in Dusty's day, oh, it was quite the place. Finisher, the dreaded bionic elbow. Career highlight, world heavyweight champion. In the history of WWE, there has never been a superstar who represented the Common Man more than the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. The blue-collar son of a plumber won over the WWE Universe with his heart, guts, and determination to never let hard times hold him down. And that's, a lot can be said about that. Hard times, what is it Scott Hall saying at the Hall of Fame? It rings true today. See you later. Goodbye. There it is. And there's old Common Man himself, old Dusty, ready to get down to work, ready to get down to business. My scissors ready to get down to business as well, because we got clip ties. We're going full McFarlane. We're going full McFarlane. And Todd, you've always told me you never go full McFarlane. I agree. You never do. It's always wild on these Ultimates, too. They do clasp down some of the hands from time to time. And I guess that is just to keep everything kind of in place, because if you're a mid-on card collector, there's nothing worse than loose accessories, hands, even heads sometimes floating around in the package, as we know. Pop these heads out. Pop the hat out. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. He's got his nightstick. Of course, he stole from the Big Boss Man. Is the Common Man a shoplifter? Is that what they're getting at right there? Bam! See you later. Goodbye. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I know a good friend of the channel, Cody Rhodes, is not. The only thing he's stealing is hearts in every arena he goes to. There you go. Shout out to Cody, the new Common Man. How about that? See you later. Goodbye. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to Dusty Rhodes business right here. We're going to start off with the accessories, of course, as we usually do. Guess we'll start off on the hands. He's got the jazz hands going on. He's going to back off. He's got that going on if you need to, or he's going to do some dancing. We know how Dusty did. Dusty would get down. It makes me really want a Sapphire figure to get down with as well. Maybe we get Sapphire one of these days. He does got the taped up fingers going on, of course. Nice, a little tribute to Dusty, I guess. They didn't just give you just plain ones. They went the extra detail. So I always like it when they do stuff like that. We get the finger pointing hands. We got those going on. And then, of course, two fists to Dusty Fury. Because when the chips are down, Dusty's not afraid to throw a fist or two if he needs to. You do get the old polka dot bandana. Seen it before. We'll see it again. I've talked about it about a year or 2 years ago. I had the Legends Dusty on my shelf, and somehow I lost the headband. This one is very nice. I think the other one was plastic as well, so it's probably a reuse from that. So the more you know, the more you know. How about a little truck driver hat now? Truck driver hat. How about taxi cab hat is kind of what it looks like there. Did we see this with John Moxley way back when? I think we did, a.k.a. Dean Ambrose, of course. I think we saw this with Dean Ambrose. And then, of course, you do get the Billy Club nightstick. We've seen this many a times with the Big Boss Man, for example. So, got to get the most out of your molds. Got to get the most out of your accessories, as we do know. Soft goods shirt, and it is the polka dot shirt, classic Dusty. And it's a real shirt. So, I think you should be able to pull off the arms. Yes, you can. So you pull the arms off on this bad boy, pull the head off, you slide this over the body, plug it all back in. So you do get the tank top there, the classic Dusty Rhodes. We'll see how it looks in glamour shots. Sometimes these shirts will ride up on you, and it looks like he's kind of wearing a belly shirt, so hopefully that is not the case. We'll see what happens with that. But now we're going to dive into old Dusty and the head sculpts here. First one out of the package here, he's got that blonde hair going on, so that's all Dusty. And it looks like Dusty, an interesting face, a little bit of a smile. I don't know. It's not the perfect Dusty head, I would say, but I think if somebody handed me this, I would exactly know who it is. Ah, there's Dusty Rhodes right there. That's what I would say. Looking good. That Austin, Texas dental work looking very nice on this one as well. 2 eyes, 2 ears, nose, and a mouth, and some blue eyes. Oh, he's blue-eyed soul. We know how it goes. Second head here we've seen numerous times before. We do get the open mouth of the tongue. Oh, that's the common man head right there, but it's a little bit of a jokester Dusty there. I can see him twirling around the nightstick, put that hat on him. You got this head, but we've seen this head before as well. And a lot of people hate this head. I don't hate it. It's not my favorite, but I don't hate it. And then last but certainly not least, we got this one. You can see the hat on this one too. He's got the, kind of kissing lips going on. He's just having a good time. He's just, juking and jiving is what he's doing right there. And Dusty, much like myself, just a song and dance man at the end of the day a lot of times. But looking good. 3 good head sculpts here. I don't know. I got to figure out which one I'm going to use on my display. It's always hard with these Ultimates. That's why a lot of times I'll buy multiples just so I can display the different looks. You put different heads on them, different hands. One gets the Big Boss Man type stuff. One gets a shirt. You mix it up and all that fun stuff there. But let's dive into Dusty and the body size here. Got the big man body, which we don't see a lot in the Ultimate Editions. Obviously, the Ultimate Edition growing and growing and growing. We talked about it. Check out my best of 2024 top 10 Ultimates list. Talked about the Ultimates are just out of control. There's Ultimates coming left and right at us all the time. And now we're getting more body styles in the Ultimate because we're making more figures of all shapes and sizes, which is pretty good. And speaking of Big Boss Man, he's just right around the corner, an Amazon exclusive here from the Coliseum collection, paired up with one Bam Bam Bigelow. So it'd be cool to have both of those as well. So getting some bigger guys to go along with our Vaders and Yokozuna in the Ultimate Edition line. But Dusty, no top going on here. He does got the elbow with the polka dots, of course. He's got the old bionic elbow. He's going to give it. He's just going to go. Remember, sometimes you'd be facing people, you just stick that elbow up and people be backing away. They don't want any of Dusty's elbow, that's for sure. Always thought that was funny. He does got a very Killer Bees-esque wrist tape going on there in the yellow and black attack, which means only one thing. Who would have thought? Dusty, huge Striper fan. We knew we loved the Willie Nelsons and the Whalens of the world, but man, sometimes Dusty getting that pickup truck, his dog would be in the back, and he'd say, you know what, I'm going to turn on some Oz Fox, and we're just going to blast away some Striper. That's what he would say. He would do that all the time. Get some Michael Sweet going. He was just all in on Striper. Just breaking a lot of news here. Is there any other Dusty Rhodes reviews out there on YouTube that's going to tell you about his love for Striper? Nobody else knows these things. I'm deep in the weeds, folks. That's what it is. But Dusty rocking the Striper, of course, with the yellow and black attack. At the big yellow and black polka dot trunks here in yellow, of course. Same thing with the knee pads. Got those Dusty cowboy boots, always looking good here. The yellow and white looking very, very nice. Arms all the way around for us, of course. Butterfly shoulders, arms removable, head removable. Bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows. The hits continue. Hands back, forth, side to side. Head back, forth, side to side. Love that. Hula hoop up top, plus traditional waist. Got those big dusty splits, kinda. But we do got dusty splits, and we got the drop down hips, of course, that we know. Leg goes up a little bit. We get a little of that Vietnam bounce back. We're going to check the Vietnam stamp on this. Do get the thigh cut, of course. Ooh, double jointed pin knees on this one, but you do get a little boot cut, ankles a little back and forth, a little up and down, and then you got that toe articulation, which won't even bend for me. Oh, it's so stiff. I can't even get the toe articulation to bend on this side, but this one's loose. Loose as Dusty in the ring is what that one is. But then, of course, we are made in Vietnam, so that could have something to do with some of this stuff. But as I've said recently on the channel, things have been quieting down on the Vietnam front. Not as many quality issues, where it was every single figure for multiple elite sets with major issues. Now it's getting to be just every once in a while. Still heavier than it was. We always had mistakes. There was always issues throughout all the years. It's not like this is brand new. It's just been amplified, which makes it feel a heck of a lot worse than it is. But looking good as far as articulation. Now, they did get the birthmark on Dusty. I'm not sure what to think about that. That doesn't look like it to me. His splotches, some would say. I don't know. I don't know if that's the best version or not the best version. It looks like almost somebody burned him with like a branding iron, or he got burned with some fire or something is what it looks like. Doesn't quite look like his birthmark to me. Now, your mileage may vary. To me, I never thought I'd be discussing Dusty's birthmark here at the table, but here it is, 2025, starting off wild as we do now. He does fit on a Mattel ringside stand. What do you know? He does. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. But old Dusty getting down to business here today at the table. Straight off the truck here from Target. Of course, hitting your Target stores right now. Have to imagine going to be somewhat fairly easy. Unfortunately, not the 16 and change price point we got with Undertaker and Vader. Back to $32 for this one. But it's worth it. I don't know if it's possible to play the long game on these at Target anymore. It's really hit and miss, and your mileage may vary at your own local Target. I do think, of course, the Legends will probably go to clearance, as we usually see, and that's a whole discussion topic in itself. A lot of people call those peg warmers, which is the case a lot of times, but there's more to that story there than being your traditional peg warmer, and I think some people get confused about how all that ends up working. Maybe one day we'll do a long-form video on that. If somebody wants to be bored with some business talk, we could do that maybe one of these days. But I like the Dusty. I like getting all these Legends, Hall of Famers. I like getting anybody in the Ultimate Edition, but especially guys that have never had an Ultimate Edition figure before. Always feels fun, always feels special, and would love to have old school NWA Dusty as an Ultimate Edition with some more bells and whistles. Give him the bull rope, give him some of that kind of stuff. Heck, I'll take a cowboy hat or a mellow yellow hat. Maybe not, probably legality-wise. But Dusty looking good here, but we got some other Dusties. We got this one right here. I think this is the last Dusty we got. Was this 2 years ago probably at this point? A lot of people hated this one. I love this Dusty figure, but it's what you like, you don't what you don't. Of course, you got that crazy screaming head we got here with this one. We also got it was a Heritage Edition back in the Basics days. We got a very basic Dusty Rhodes here, always very, very good. Then, of course, you get the old Legends Dusty from way back when. Very cool to see this one back out. So the polka dots have been shining for quite some time with the WWE Mattel line. Now, we got more Dusties outside of this, but I figured I'd only bring out the polka dot Dusties. And then, of course, Cody Rhodes. And one thing I never thought of before until right now, this Ultimate Cody head, and we've seen it multiple times. He's got the open screaming mouth. I mean, it's really matching his dad's screaming open mouth face. So I thought that was kind of funny. It must be a Rhodes patented look right there. So very cool to see them both with their mouth wide open. I don't know if Mattel did that on purpose or what, but I just kind of noticed that as of recent. And then I did grab the Big Boss Man. I did get the old Big Boss Man. The newer Big Boss Man feels more like good guy Big Boss Man, where the older Big Boss Man to me felt like bad guy Big Boss Man. I don't know if you guys think the same way. It's a lot like when I was a kid with my Hasbros, that first incarnation of Big Boss Man. That was Twin Towers Big Boss Man, bad guy Big Boss Man, where the second, much preferred Big Boss Man was good guy Big Boss Man in my playing days. And I kind of have that same philosophy with the Elites as well. And as I mentioned, Big Boss Man does have an Ultimate coming from Amazon here in the next month or so. So we'll be reviewing that before you know it. Can't wait to get two big guys. Old Scott Charles Bam Bam Bigelow, can't wait to have him and the Big Boss Man in the Ultimate line. But Dusty here, who we're talking about, a very, very fun one, and thankfully adding this hat and adding this Billy Club gives this one a heck of a lot more meat on the bone. It feels like multiple Dusties this way, and I think this was a very easy decision, probably a cheap decision to make this feel more special than it already was. So kudos to the Mattel team on that, giving us a little bit more bang for the buck on this one, where I think they could have slid by if they wanted to. I don't know, but I do like this Dusty Rhodes a whole lot, and I probably will pick up a second one. So there you go. Dusty Rhodes Target Ultimate Edition. What are your guys' thoughts? This one a pick up for you? Pass, long game, no game? I don't know what I'm doing with my life game. Do I need more Dusty Rhodes games? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. And you guys know there's a lot of content to be brought over here at the table. All kinds of stuff going on every single day in the action figure world, as we do know. And I appreciate you guys supporting me over here. And check out the Patreon if you want even more access to stuff, giveaways, Q&As. You know the whole rigmarole by now. ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, and of course now on TikTok. And don't forget my book, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstar Series, now available digitally, and of course hardcover at Barnes & Noble, softcover at Amazon. So for Dusty Rhodes Ultimate Edition, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.